I wouldn't want you to do a disservice here, because although Marcus is going on about these details at Smith, let's not get away from your team. You know, at the end of the day, you can have all these things like these barrels and that. You still got to have a geezer behind them, and you inspired those that team to go on and do the business.
But this is what I'm saying, though, Pete.
I don't give you edges.
You had to me, if I had 5 little edges, that would add up to.
Let me tell you something. I think take away the barrels, take away the guns. You give the Predators of old exactly the same equipment as any other team, right? That they've got. You'd still fucking win every game. As you used to. I think psychologically all those little edges helped you, and I'm sure they did in a practical sense, but not to the point where it overrode the actual quality of your team.
No, the equipment didn't override the team, but it gave us an advantage.
Yes, it did.
It gave us an advantage, but the basic core of the players was you could give us any gun.
Yeah.
You could have given us any gun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You could have given us any gun. It was like I said, we was like professional boxers. It was like I was England coach for the English boxing team. We used to train. We was the only team every single week. We used to have a team meeting. We used to sit down for 2 hours with 15 men in the room every single time. Everybody used to turn up.
Yeah.
Right. We would then sit down and discuss tactics and what to do, what not to do. Talk about the games from before. Everybody's sitting together. It wasn't like I sat there. I used to sit there telling players what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, and other players would have their input. And then what we would do then, we would then go out and practice on these what we would sit down and think about. We was one of the. I know that the Eagles started it off, but we evolved it further. We had our own code words. We had our own language.
Yeah. Well, the one I meant was Zulu.
Zulu, Tazo, Monton. We used to have our own language. It wasn't the going on the field playing the game of paintball was the easy bit.
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is get on the field and shoot 10 players out.
Yeah.
It's all the preparation that went in before that that people never used to see and appreciate.
Yeah.
It was an overall package. The hours and hours and hours of playing.
There's not so much sophistication behind today's game. There's a lot more training gets done, I think, in today's team than not. And their preparation is done more through sort of going through routines and all
drills,
that. And drills, yeah. That's right. So, you know, I'm not sure. So to sort of wrap this up, first of all, I want to thank you for coming down.
My pleasure.
And you know, I told you one of the reasons I want to bring you down was just so people let you know, let these people know what Brit success really is. You've been there, you've done it. So if you had any advice to UK players now, and before you answer, I'd like to just flesh out a little bit what's important here. I honestly believe that I've seen at the last big competition I went to, quite a lot of really good players, really talented players, but we haven't got a talented team. We've got Nexus, but you know, they're a one-off basically. So for the old corpus of players under there, what would you say to inspire them to not be satisfied with a 4-4-50 vision placing over there? What would you say to inspire them to try and just uplift their aspirations in their game?
To be quite truthful with you, without wanting to shoot anybody down in flames and stuff, I'll be quite truthful with you. Right, the way that game has evolved now, you need somebody behind you who's got a lot of money. Yeah. You could be the best players in the world.
Do you know how much Nexus had when we started out? Have a guess. $200,000.
Oh, there you go.
Right. 200,000.
There you go. So the way the paint.
That was what it worked out with, like all the bits, like the guns were worth, and
the way the game's played nowadays. If you could find a good team captain that could lead from the front, and the other players listened to him and done what they was told, and the buck stopped and started with him, right? And he had the right financial backing behind him. I think there's people that
could you do it? I thought you could.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not blowing smoke at you. I think you could.
I could if I was motivated to do it.
$1 million, that motivate you? Come on, it would.
You know what? What people don't understand with the paintball, the way we used to play, it's all or nothing. It's a lifestyle. You got to eat, drink, breathe it, and all the money in the world.
Well, as you quite succinctly and emotionally put it, and I'll have to agree because I've lost the same. A lot of family life we lost. Because I was there every week fucking playing.
I might not be able to play on the field like I could some of these younger kids, but if I was playing with all my players. There was a bit of me inside all my players.
Yeah.
And every one of them. That's the sort of passion you got to have from it.
Do you miss playing itself?
I miss playing, yeah.
You miss playing?
I do miss playing because in the woods, it's the ultimate adrenaline buzz. You're pitting your skill against another man.
It's like a ring,
it's like a ring, yeah. And it's fieldcraft, and in a ring I might slip a punch to get out of the way. In paintball, I might be behind a tree or
to slip out
cover.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing and the same sort of adrenaline buzz. I do miss it, yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
But I miss it. There's a turnaround and said, there's horses for courses on both sides, and you're always going to have a debate that the Woodland teams are always going to say that they was better than the other teams, and there's a divide and stuff with it. But I think people trying to inspire to come up, I think it's a lot more difficult for them now because of the way the economic climate is over here.
Yeah,
you haven't got the base player. When I was playing paintball, there was so many people. There was loads of paintball shops in this country. There was lots of players. There was paintball magazines, right?
And just make sure it's still Status magazines. Just make sure it's still going. Yeah.
There was paintball magazines. You could go on WH Smith's and read about the team.
PGI paintball
and you could read about paintball and who was playing what and what was the latest equipment and stuff. I don't think stuff is accessible.
Do you know how many magazines there are now?
Go on.
One.
Yeah.
It's Faceful, right? Which was a French magazine. Started out. Remember Laurent?
Yeah.
Laurent. He started it. He's still going, Laurent. He's one of the guys that owns Millennium. And even then, it's dodgy. So you got one magazine. There used to be about 10, didn't there? Overall worldwide. Now there's one.
I'm saying to you that I think what will happen. I know there's still plenty of people that play paintball. What you have to understand, you've got to get new blood into paintball.
That's right.
If you don't have people walk through, I could have walked through the door. If you don't have people walking through the door to play paintball, you're not going to get a player base. There's no new blood.
I tell you what, the demographics changed. When we were doing our stuff, I'd say the age average is 10 years above what it is now. So when we were playing like these people in their 30s playing, we had disposable income.
That's
but
right.
the kids now, they're like between 14 and 20. They haven't got as much disposable income.
This is the thing. Why don't people of 20 or 30
because of what you said earlier.
Because they don't want to go and get shot at by a fucking spot.
And because the point you made earlier on, a big geezer can have a function in the woods, but he can't on a super airborne.
It's no fun. I'm not being funny with you. Imagine, say for example, I've got two sons. I'll take them out to play paintball and arena ball. Dad's going to get mugged off, kid getting shot at.
Yeah.
And having a crack shot, and their little 16-year-old kids laughing at him. Right? They're not shooting him out because he ain't no good. They're shooting him out. Because
do you know what? I remember an event we was at once with you, and I'm not going arcing back for nostalgia reasons because this wasn't nostalgia. And I can't remember who you were playing for. It might have been a Feds or a team together. And you come off, and I talked to you, and I said, "How's it going, Mark?" And you said, "Peter," you said, "I'm having geezers." You didn't say 16. You said, "Some fucking spotty cunt coming out of me and fucking drilling me as if I'm not even there." And I think you'd realise you didn't need the same sort of skills to be able to get to the top to take you out. And I think that was a pride thing. And obviously I'd felt it as well at the time because
I remember that. So I was playing up at Birmingham. I can't remember what site it was or what series it was. I was playing up there with Dave Sturt's team. I put the Preds back together, which was a failure.
Yeah.
Well, I was up there trying to play, and I'm an aggressive paintball player. I don't sit still idle behind my gun. I get up and play, and I want to shoot players out. That's what aggressive players done. I've got to move forward. I've got hit 20 fucking times.
Yeah.
But what's happened then was they ain't stopped shooting.
Yeah.
They were lighting me up because they knew I was, and I'd come off the field and I said, "Cunt," I said, "Come here." I said, "Who the fuck?" I said, "Don't tell me about you. You hit me. I've put my hand up, dead player, and you carry on shooting me."
Yeah.
And I thought, he said, "You know what? I ain't nobody's trophy because you'll never do what I've done."
Yeah.
Right, and I went, like, I'll just.
Do you know, there's a lot of geezers now, but they look upon drilling you in the back of the head as something fucking funny or some sort of thing that they can do that's clever. And as I've said sort of on the internet, these people don't live in the real world.
No.
Because you can fucking go and do that sort of shit in the street and do that disrespectful and it's going to come on top of it. But these fellas are doing it on the paintball field and getting away with it at the moment. But yeah, I know, so you should go back play and clear it up.
No, it's because of the way them guns shoot and they fire and stuff. You're always going to have a little bit of
12:15 a second.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
All right. I want to thank Marcus for doing this for paintball.com.
No,
Cheers,
my
Mark.
pleasure.
All right, mate. Cheers. Thanks.